Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry, no book review this week. I am still working to finish The Born Supremacy, but hopefully next week I should be done and the video should be up next Saturday. So for this week we are actually going to be trying something new. It's an idea that's been floating around in my head for a while, but I want to see how this does on the channel first. So my idea is to do a subset of videos called Ranking The, in which I will go through and rank each of the books in whatever series we had just finished. So I am actually really interested to see how you guys like this new segment of video, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe, also hit the notification bell to get notified when I drop my next video. So with that out of the way, let's hit the intro. So for our first ranking the video, we are actually going to go back to our first series we did and do ranking the Kane Chronicles trilogy. So, in case this wasn't clear, how this is going to work is I will rank, in my opinion, all the books within one specific series. Just to be clear, this is completely my opinion, and if you guys have a completely different ranking of these books, that's completely fine. I would love to hear why you rank them as you do, and just... So, let's start the list. Number 1, The Serpens Shadow. So, to start off the list, we have the last book of the Kane Chronicles trilogy, and this is really here because I think it is a really solid ending to a really good all-around trilogy. What really makes this book a really good ending for the trilogy is because he allows everyone to end in a really natural place with their characters. Everyone's character ends up in a place that makes sense for them, and you're not left with your head scratching like, why would this character end up in this place? All of their endings really do make sense for who they are and what we've seen from them within. And obviously, I really like the ending because it has the promise of more if he really did want to go back. Like I said, there's a really good possibility that he could go back and do more for this trilogy, but I don't know if he will. And I really do appreciate Reardon's attempts to connect his series. As limited as it is, it's still fun for me as a fan to realize that he's trying to do that. And even despite how much of the book is focused with the Sadie Walter Nubis love triangle, I still do consider it the best of the Kane Chronicles trilogy. Number 2, The Red Pyramid. So for number 2, we actually have the first book in the trilogy, Red Pyramid. And I really do like this as a starting point because we get right into the action. And it is fun, it is energetic, and we really get to connect to Carter and Sadie through the way the book is told. And as always, the mythology is a really good part of this book. He keeps it simple like he did with Percy Jackson. It's easy to follow and you're not going to get too confused. But it's still enough that you are learning a lot of interesting stuff that you probably didn't know before reading any of this. And even if you did have a base level of knowledge going into this, you can still learn a lot of interesting stuff through reading this book. It's not like it's just covering the basics. No, he's pulling in interesting details throughout the story. So the biggest flaw I really find within this book is how much of the story Carter is not involved with. Most of the story is told by Sadie, and she still is a very good and interesting character, but I think if Rick Riordan really wanted to make this book better, he could have focused on Carter a bit more within the story. Number 3, Throne of Fire. Okay, now we come to my least favorite book, Throne of Fire. And if you remember from my original video when I reviewed this, I have a bunch of important big problems with this book. First and foremost, being the pacing of the book itself. This book is way too plotting. The other 2 books had slower parts, but not like this. This entire book is a fetch quest, but my biggest problem is they don't start hunting down the scrolls till the middle of the book. And that just plods along way too much. So my third biggest problem is actually the start of the Sadie Walter Nubis love triangle thing, like I said in my original video. I do not like this. Sadie is interesting enough on her own without having to shoehorn in the love triangle and to make it the central focus of her plot line. And I really do not like this plot line like I keep saying, Sadie is interesting enough on her own. She doesn't need the love triangle to be the main part of her story. Just let her do her thing without having to constantly be bickering should she choose Anubis or Walt. That's all I'm saying. I don't like this. I really don't. Alright guys, that has been my ranking of the Kane Chronicles books. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Like I said, this is all my opinion, and if you guys have another opinion, I would love to hear it. Leave it down in the comments with a reason why you rank the books as you do. If you guys have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you can get notified when I finally get to my Bourne Ultimatum review. As always, also in the comments, if you guys have any book recommendations you want me to do in the future, you can leave it down in the comments as well. You can also follow me on these social media platforms so you can keep updated with my videos.